Alright, I'm R.
I'm E,
and we film stuff. Today I'm going to be making a new desk because my PC desk at home is pretty cooked. I got it for like 50 bucks off Amazon, and when I finish with this desk, that one's going straight in the dumpster.
So basically today we just have a whole set of pine wood here as well as red oak. Red oak's going to be made, or I should say the top is going to be made out of red oak, and then the bottom foundation as well as the box where the PC is going to be put is going to be made out of pine. All of it's going to be handmade, handcrafted, all stained up and finished by the end of this video. Stay tuned.
Let's get to it.
As you can see in the video, we're trimming the rough ends off of each board to make sure they're all the same length before we start gluing and clamping them together.
So this is our clamper. This is going to clamp our top pieces together. Right now we got them cut to the size. Just a little bit bigger than what they're going to be in the end. Yeah, we're going to send these into the clamps, glue them up, and they'll be stuck together by the time we come back.
When applying correctly, using the appropriate amount of glue can create a bond that is stronger than the actual wood. This is key to making sure your tabletop stays solid and durable. Setting the boards as even and flush as possible will reduce the amount of time required for sanding, as well as reduce the amount of waste that you trim off the ends.
Alright, so now that we got our top all glued up, we got to cut our legs out. I had thought for a good leg width, I think 2 1/4 is about good. So we need to rip this board down as many times as we can at 2 1/4 and get as many pieces as we can together. We need about 6 different legs, 2 for each side and then 2 for the box as well. Let's cut those out.
Time to cut them up.
Now we just got to cut them down the length after ripping them down, cutting them to 31 1/4, about 6 different times. So maybe I'll let Rylan get in on a couple cuts.
Maybe.
This is an easy hack if you're doing a lot of parts. Line up your piece, make sure it's really flush, and then just, whoop. Here's your line. Make sure you cut on the right side of your line. Not always. Cut on the correct side of your line. As you can see, this method works pretty dang good. Here, Ripper, you cut this one.
Alright. Last one.
What?
Last one.
Yes, sir. No, that was the last one. Yeah. 6 legs. We have those done. That's it. Hold on. Don't record this. These and then 2 at 6 inches right here. That's basically what we need left. We already got this. Okay. It's gluing. So then this is being made.
I like your doodle.
Thank you.
Good job, artist. Yeah.
Makes it way easier. Basically, you gotta cut the rest of the parts out for the bottom of the table. We got a couple styles, a couple of the rails left, so yeah. Those are the two rails that we already have over here. We can also cut these out. These are spare from the other legs, spare from the legs. Cut my head off real quick. 23 inches. Uh-oh. We almost made a no-no.
What's the no-no?
This side's rough and unfinished. See how this side's already cut? I'm glad I caught myself before I just started cutting that.
That would have been a big no-no.
Yeah, we want to cut off the rough edge for sure. Sorry, guys.
This probably would have fallen apart if you did that.
For sure. Would have fallen completely apart. This one we already got. We got this one right the first time. That too many times where you don't have to move your piece of wood.
Back to the drawing board.
Huh? Alrighty, so far we got every single leg that we'll need. Okay, we have every single little rail piece here on the sides. Now we need to cut each of these big pieces out. There's 3 of them. One on each side of this and one on the bottom here. Cut those out. Those are 44.5 each. And then the next piece that I can only think of, these 6-inch pieces right here. Let's do it. I said we were going to cut 6 inches out. I'm cutting them at 8 inches.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Only because I'm not 100% sure on how everything's going to end up after we cut down the countertop or the top for it. So we're just going to cut a couple things big and make sure that we end up okay. What is it?
That's illegal, Rob. You can't cut that.
Alright, let's see you do it.
What you say?
I'm not gonna lie to you, we might need more of these. If we were thinking about going like this, you know, this is what we want to do with them. You know what I mean?
What do we got?
Okay. We got a bunch of pieces. Let's go check on our top.
Alright, how does our wood look?
Not quite dry. Not quite yet. We're gonna give it a little bit more time and maybe start assembling our frame or getting some pieces for our box of where our PC will sit. Get those together and maybe cut out and yeah. I mean, this is white oak, but it'll probably do for the box.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, white oak.
The square is what lets us mark out the top with precision. Because it is in perfect 90-degree angle, it is used to create square corners. I use a pencil to draw the cut line across the end of the tabletop. By aligning the square with the edge of the top, we ensure both lines are perfectly straight, perfectly aligned, and perfectly square.
That it goes out, so this is one piece. Boom, boom. This is for pocket hole screws. Gonna put a couple pocket hole screws into our boards that we need. Screw up into that. That's cool. You wanna do that a lot of times. Just like that. Woo! That thing's loud, man. We got all of our legs cut out and ready to go.
All right, what's our next step?
Putting them together. Putting them together and then sanding the legs so that they're the same length. As you can see right now, there's obviously a little bit of left on that one and a little bit less on this one. So I'm gonna have to sand them up a little bit, but that's okay.
Gotta use the glue.
Honestly, just making sure it doesn't come out. I don't want it to come out. These need to be completely level though.
What even is this machine?
Clamps. Keeps everything together while I screw it in. Just like that.
Okay, so while Ethan's putting the legs together, like this one, I'm gonna sand it down and try and get rid of this edge right there and make this leg smooth. Okay, so I'm sitting here with the sandpaper master. You want to tell us what sandpaper even is?
Basically, sandpaper is just like any ordinary piece of paper, just with grit.
All right, and what even is grit? Is that the thing you eat, like that came from the south?
No, it's not the breakfast food grits. Grit is basically a bunch of bumps per square inch.
Okay, so what grit would like a rock be, like I find outside of my house?
A rock would be pretty much just one grit. Obviously, if it's a big boulder, the boulder itself might have a grit, but if it's just a rock, it's a grit. One grit.
All right, now what about this piece of paper right here? What?
Piece of paper is 7,000 to 9,000. I know that for a fact.
All right, asking ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, he's correct. There's no way. Okay, so how would you make the round edges?
The round edges, essentially, you want to take the orbital sander and go from each face of the leg. So going over that corner, making it more dull each time you go over it and rounding that edge.
All right, and my last question is what are some sandpaper grits that are commonly found in your shop?
The most common grits that we use for the orbital sander would be 180, 150, and 120. For belt sanders, we use 60 grit and 120.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Sandmaster out.
All right, you want to explain what we're doing?
Yeah, I'm making all the legs the same size. So basically, because they're so close, all I'm really doing is coming with the saw blade, pushing this up against it, and that's where I'm letting it go. Just so I can take off just a fuzz. And that's gonna be perfect. All three of those legs are good. I was doing it while Rylan was sanding. We just got the last one here. Dang, that's pretty dang good. I think that's gonna do it right there. All four of those legs are all the same size, exactly.
Perfect.
Should be 31 and a quarter. Just under that, which all of them are. I like it.
All right, so the audio got clipped out of this clip, so I'm gonna do an impression of the saw.
As you can see, we are using the saw known as a track saw to square up all the ends and edges of our tabletop. So we're taking these boards and gonna put them through this time saver, which is gonna sand them down. We didn't get the audio for this clip also, so we're gonna do our best to make the noises.
Hey guys, it's a new day here in the shop, and we ended up picking some more wood for my tabletop because it was just a little too thin for my liking. You got something to say?
Yeah, so this wood is the exact same pieces that we picked up from yesterday. Literally, like he said, just gonna add that next layer on top of it. It's gonna really give it that professional look.
In 3, 2, 1, we'll have a tabletop. Oh, like this.
Now that we have finished this top, all that we have left to do is glue them both together and sand them both down so that they are equal length.
Alright guys, you know what time it is. We lost audio for this clip as well.
Right now, we are staining the desk frame with Jacobine Minwax semi-transparent stain that you can get from any hardware store.
Pretty good. So these are going to be the bottom pieces here. Looking pretty good.
What is this saying?
This is our mini model for what's going to happen to the big one. Basically, we're just going to sand the edges, square the board up, square it up with a triangle, and then yeah, we should be sitting pretty good.
I like it.
Don't be afraid to go heavy. More glue, the better. It's a big mess.
We are going to be gluing, clamping, and also squaring up the top with the track saw to its final dimensions.
Check that out.
That
Perfectly
squared countertop right there. That's how you do that.
Countertop is the most important part of the desk. Taking your time and being really intricate throughout each step of building the countertop is ideal. Everybody's going to be touching the countertop, so take your time.
Go everywhere. Don't go too crazy so that stain flies everywhere.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get it on yourself.
Alright, it's time to stain.
Rylan wanted to have a lighter countertop but a darker framework for his desk. The stain that is being used for the tabletop is dark walnut, a Minwax semi-transparent texture. Although not mentioned before, it is very important to wipe up any of the excess stain with a clean towel to avoid any dark, wet stain spots. During this step, we are spraying the countertop with a lacquer-based sealant. This sealant helps us get into the pores. Seal sanding sponge is used to get even further into the pores. Don't use too much pressure when using the seal sanding sponge, as it can remove the stain. Be sure to spray off the top with some air to remove any debris. Spraying one last time after sanding helps ensure a smooth finish on the countertop.
Alright, so we got some more wood pieces cut out for the platform where the PC is gonna sit, and I'm gonna sand them. got all the boards for the PC platform all sanded up and rounded the edges pretty nicely.
All right, we're just starting to put the frame together now. I don't know how this is gonna go. We're just gonna try to make it go. If that makes any sense at all. Yeah? Yeah? Huh? Yeah? Yeah, okay. I have a much better idea. We have these clamps right here. I'm gonna stick it into this clamp. Just like this. Except backwards. Just a itty bitty bit. Just enough to help out. Just like that, you guys. That's not cool though. It's an easy cleanup though. Just get a little bit of water on a piece of paper towel. Here, I guess I can maybe turn the camera so you guys can see this. But I'm way over here. I'm just getting some water onto this piece of paper towel, just enough so I can get into that crack where that glue was. Because we really do not want any glue showing in the end product. Get a little scraper, get in there a little bit deeper. I'm gonna grab a utility knife and get even deeper. Shunk. Can't even tell. I would have no idea. Like that. Got the glue all out of that crack. All right, let's go put this other piece in. And then we're waiting on Rylan. I need to get the dimensions for the box. Box, height of 18. So, grab our tape measure. 18's right there. We'll mark that, just a tiny mark, not enough to where you can tell and see it. Right, here's 18. You guys have been wondering, I am the brains behind this operation. So there's a lot of hope and prayer going into this, as well as skill. So far, box. Oh, we got more glue in there. You see that? See what I was talking about earlier? See the glue there? Let's go get rid of that. Now we have to pick out our best looking front piece, the very front of Rylan's desk. I like the look of this piece the best. That's pretty cool. Bam. That is the very first part of Rylan's desk. This is where his PC is gonna go, kind of inside of there. As you can see, he wanted me to have a 9-inch hole, 18-inch high, so we did a little bit bigger, and we do have 18 and like a little bit more than 18, so yeah. Yeah, looks pretty good. I'll let you know when Rylan gives me some more pieces.
For the next step, you are going to want to repeat what you did for the top. Spray once, seal sand, then spray again. This method is going to give us the fastest and highest quality results. This is the side panel that we picked out from earlier in the video. It is going to be used to hide the PC from the side view. We have cut it, sanded it, stained it, and now we use the same method to finish it.
It's an actual desk right now.
Coming down to the last few final steps, you want to place the top on with the correct overhang. Screw it down, securely fastening it to the frame.
guys.
Well, we still need the side.
We're not done yet. On the way.
All I'm doing for the side panel is taking some 5/8 inch nails and shooting it into the frame.
All right, we got the desk all built up, coated in lacquer thinner. Now all we need to do is just load it in the van, put it in my room. All right, this is my cheap desk from Amazon. And with the power of editing, we have the new desk right here. The PC fits in there pretty snug. Now it's time to destroy the other one. I decided to spare my old desk and use it as a table to store my weight plates. Let's test it out. Well, that's going to conclude it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching us build a desk together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in for the next one. Peace out.